Hello and welcome. I specialize in the intersection of technology and modern hospitality, and I'm really excited to be here to guide you, the students of Europe Hotel School, on this journey. Today, we're going to build a strategic framework for what it takes to create a truly powerful hotel brand. As the future leaders of our industry, mastering this is absolutely crucial.
I want to kick things off with this quote from Jeff Bezos, because it just perfectly captures what branding's all about. In the incredibly competitive world of hospitality, your brand, it's not just your logo or some color scheme you picked out. It's your reputation. It's that feeling a guest remembers long after they've checked out. At the end of the day, it's the story people tell about you.
So, to help you build that story, we're going to walk through 5 core pillars. We'll start with the very foundation of your brand. Then we'll define its voice and its look. From there, we'll shift our focus to the guest experience itself. And finally, we'll see how it all connects to the most important part, the result, which is all about loyalty and profitability. Think of this as your blueprint for success.
Okay, let's dive right in with our first and honestly most critical pillar, the foundation. I mean, think about it. Before you can build anything that lasts, you have to know exactly what you're building on. For you, as the next generation of leaders, defining a crystal clear brand identity is the non-negotiable first step.
So what exactly is a brand identity? Well, it's really the clear articulation of 3 key things. First, your core values. What do you truly stand for? Is it unmatched luxury, a serious commitment to sustainability? Maybe it's a deep connection to the local art scene. Second is your mission, your fundamental why. And third, your unique selling proposition, or USP. This is what makes you different. Is it your historic building, the only rooftop infinity pool in the entire city, your Michelin-starred chef? Nailing this down is how you cut through the noise and attract the guests who are looking for exactly what you offer.
All right, let's move on to our second pillar and see how this all starts to connect. Once you've defined your identity, you have to actually communicate it, right? This is all about your brand's voice, and it comes down to 2 things: being consistent and mastering the art of storytelling.
And the number 1 rule of your brand's voice is that it has to be consistent. Just think about it for a second. If your message is always changing, how can guests possibly learn to trust you? Consistency across every single place a guest interacts with you reinforces your image and builds that rock-solid foundation of recognition and trust.
And when I say consistency, I mean everywhere. It's not just about having a nice website or a cool social media feed. It's in the tone of the confirmation emails you send out, the design of the welcome note in the room, and maybe most importantly, in every single interaction your team has with a guest. Every one of these moments, these touch points, is an opportunity to strengthen your brand.
But consistency on its own is not enough. The brands that truly stand out, the ones we remember, are amazing storytellers. Think about the Ritz-Carlton's famous motto, "We are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen." That's so much more than a slogan. It's a story that defines their entire service culture. When you share compelling stories about your hotel's history, your team's passion, or the amazing community around you, you create a real emotional connection. And that's what turns a first-time guest into a loyal advocate for life.
Let's move on to pillar number 3, the look. In today's digital-first world, let's be real. What your guests see online is often their very first impression. So your visual identity and your online presence are absolutely critical for grabbing their attention and setting the right expectations.
It really all begins with visuals that capture the true essence of your hotel. This means you have to invest in high-quality, professional photos and videos that don't just show a bed in a room, but actually reflect your brand's unique personality and atmosphere. Ask yourself, does your brand feel luxurious, cozy, ultra-modern, adventurous? Your images have to tell that story in an instant.
And it goes beyond just photography. Professional graphic design and a strong visual language are just as important. Everything from your logo and your fonts to the color palette you use, it all works together to create a cohesive and memorable experience. It's these details that create a lasting impression and make your brand instantly recognizable.
These powerful visuals are the fuel for your online presence. A sleek, user-friendly website, that's your digital front door. Actively engaging on the right social media platforms, that's how you join the conversation. And this isn't just about marketing. It's about showcasing your brand to a global audience and building real relationships with guests before they even step foot on your property. And that brings us to a big one. Pillar 4, the experience. Your identity, your voice, and your look have all made a promise to your guest. This pillar is where you deliver on it. The in-hotel experience is, without a doubt, the ultimate moment of truth for your brand.
In a world with endless choices, personalization is the secret ingredient that makes a stay truly memorable. This means going way beyond standard service. We're talking about tailoring the experience to each individual. A personalized welcome message, recommending local activities based on their actual interests, or simply remembering they prefer a certain type of pillow from their last stay. That's the magic.
So how do you make sure you're always getting it right? You create what's called a guest satisfaction loop. And this isn't a one-and-done task. It's a continuous living process. You actively gather feedback through surveys, online reviews, or just talking to people. Then you analyze that feedback to find areas where you can do better. Next, you actually implement changes based on those insights. And then, you do it all over again, always striving to be just a little bit better, to constantly exceed expectations.
And that brings us to our final pillar, the result. This is where all that hard work, building your brand, perfecting the experience, it all comes together to achieve the ultimate business goals: loyalty, guest retention, and, of course, financial success.
And let's be perfectly clear about what the #1 goal is here: long-term profitability. The whole purpose of Brilliant Brand Management is to build a sustainable, successful business. By attracting the right guests, delivering an experience they'll never forget, and earning their genuine loyalty, you create a powerful cycle. Satisfied customers don't just come back, they become your best marketers, sharing their stories and bringing new business right to your door. That is the engine of profitability.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question. As you all move forward in your careers, you're the ones who will be shaping the hotel brands of tomorrow. You now have the framework. The only question left to answer is this: what story will your hotel tell?